Hi, my name is Robert. This video is designed to give you step-by-step detailed instructions on completing the task at hand. Please read the description area of this video to get valuable information and updates. You're welcome to join me as I teach and empower people to learn how to fix things for themselves and save money. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. What's happening, party people? Welcome to Throwback Thursday, where I remix an old video, bring it up to date with all of my new tips and tricks. In this video, man, I did some spark plugs, and let me tell you, I am surprised at some of the spark plugs that I'm pulling out of cars. Man, we got to do better with doing our routine maintenance. Have some kind of log, some kind of quick reference chart or something where you document where you've replaced your last plugs, your wires, your distributor cap and rotor, your timing belt, stuff like that, because it just doesn't make any sense for that stuff to be blown out, worn out, and explode and destroy your engine. And a couple things I want to point out. One, I do use a torque wrench on these things. I normally torque them between 20 and 22 foot-pounds. I'm seeing spark plugs that are loose, which can result in burnt pistons. Number two, I don't use anti-seize on new plugs. The plugs come with some kind of coating on there. They don't get stuck in your cylinder head. The ones that I find that are getting stuck in cylinder head are really aftermarket plugs. These plugs have their pitch and thread just a little bit off. That makes them super tight. I really only use OEM plugs from the dealer or a supplier that supplies dealer parts, unless the car is tuned and the tuner recommends some other plugs. So do your best to use the OEM plug. Now, this video can be used across many other vehicles, but this one was done on a Volvo, so hope that makes sense. I do use the anti-seize on the threads of the screws that go in the cover, and I don't over tighten that cover. Those screws are not lug nuts. There's no reason for them to be super tight. You're just making them hard to come out the next time. Put a little anti-seize in there, screw them in there, snug them down, and move on. So, hope you keep your car serviced. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. I'm about to change the spark plugs real quick on a 1998 Volvo S70 GLT. It is a turbocharged model car. The spark plugs, I believe, are supposed to be changed every 30,000 miles. Quick and easy process, so here we go. Here's the tools and the equipment that you'll need. You need a spark plug socket, which is a 5/8. I use a couple of extensions to get down in the deep well. I have a magnet, a ratchet wrench, a speed handle, some anti-seize compound. I use Volvo spark plugs. You can use whichever you want. I believe these Volvo ones work well. And a T30 screwdriver. And sometimes those screws are a little tight, so I use that little crescent wrench to break the screws loose with. Of course, first thing you want to do is reach under here, release the hood, hold it for 3 seconds, let it go. Some of these hoods are hard to open. The latches don't release right away. So if you hold it 3 or 4 seconds, it'll sometimes allow the hood to open easier. Reach your hand under the hood, pull the latch forward, open up the hood. Next thing you want to do is remove these 6 screws out of this cover that covers the spark plugs. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's a T30. Okay, I got all the screws out of the cover. So you want to work the cover up and out. Normally it's not too hard of a task to get it out of there. So get the cover out from under the turbo tube. Set it out of the way. This is very common for these motors, to have some oil puddled under there. If you see oil puddled under there, you got one or two problems. You got a bad oil cap seal. It's letting oil get by there. Or you're having blow by, which is probably a result of a clogged PCV system. If this hose here is real hard, your PVC system may be bad. So I'm probably going to sop that oil up and check it after the next run. The next thing I do is pull the spark plug wires up off of the spark plugs out of the cylinder head. If these things are aftermarket, there's a good chance they'll break. So if you have aftermarket wires installed, you may want to make sure that you have access to some new ones. Now over on the driver's side, those wires have a little plastic bracket type of clip thing in there to hold the wires together to go under the cover. So be prepared to replace these wires if they're aftermarket, because a lot of times the aftermarket wires break when you're removing them from off the top of the spark plugs. So let me go ahead and lift these spark plug boots off of the spark plugs. I have all the spark plug wires pulled off of the plugs and out of the way enough to get the spark plugs out. So the next thing I'm going to do is get my ratchet and pull those spark plugs out. I'm going to break them loose with the ratchet wrench one by one. This is the setup I use with my ratchet wrench. I go ahead and slide it down over top of the spark plug, and then I break them loose one by one. After that, I'm going to pull this off and use my speed handle to get them the rest of the way out just a little quicker. I ended up having to swing my plug wires this way to get this one down here clear of the spark plug hole. After that, I take my speed handle, I drop it down over it, and I just go ahead and spin those out real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and take these plugs out. Any of them that don't come out with the socket, I use my magnet to drop in there and pull the spark plugs up one by one. Now I can pull these spark plugs out one at a time. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay these plugs out and inspect them before I put the new ones in. They're all 5 of my spark plugs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lined up just right. They all look like they're burning pretty much the same. None of them look strange. So I'm probably okay with the way the fuel spray and everything is going. If you have any questions, you can Google up a site like NKG or something, and it'll tell you how it looks when spark plugs are fouled or whatever. These plugs have right at 30,000 miles on them. Some people clean them off, re-gap them, put them back in. But I'm going to go ahead and replace them since I don't see this car often. My daughter has it up at college for right now. If you see, like I said, strange things on there, you can post pictures and ask people their opinion of them. You want to make sure none of them look cracked. As you can see, some of them may have been faced a different direction when they got threaded in. This arm looks a little darker than this one, but when I spin it around, it looks just like the other one. So I think all's well inside those pistons. You can do a compression check too if you have any questions or concerns about the motor. Okay, the next thing I did was I used my filler gauge and checked the gap. The gap is supposed to be 0.028. They're supposed to be pre-gap, but I like to check them. Some people like to put anti-seize on the thread. That is not necessary with new plugs. You can just screw them in there because they have a coating on there to help prevent them from getting stuck in the cylinder head. The only time I use anti-seize is when I pull the plugs and check them for some reason and then reinstall them. Other than that, I just put them in dry. Then I take the spark plugs, set them down in the hole as deep as I can, and then I turn them down until I feel that they're a little bit snug or start having a little resistance. Then I turn them a half a turn past that. You could get a torque wrench on them. I'll post the torque value on the YouTube notes. Alright, I got most of that oil sopped up in there. I'm going to go ahead and replace the oil cap seal. I'm sure I have one of those and check back in 5,000 miles. Next, I'm going to plug the spark plug wires in and fire the car up, make sure it runs, and then I'll put the cover and stuff on it after I make sure it runs smooth after putting the spark plug wires on. When you put these spark plug wires back on, make sure you get these down as tight as you can. These are a little bit water resistant, but they're not waterproof. So if you get the top of this motor wet, water can get past there. I've pulled them off before and seen a bunch of water down there. Had to mop it up. Alright, now that they're all plugged in as tight as I could get them, make sure the wires lay down as best you can. Now I'm going to go ahead and start the car. Alright, the car is running. Everything seems to be quiet and running fine. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the car back off and put the cover on it. I have all the screws in the cover, and this is where I use my anti-seize. Just snug them down. They don't need to be tight. Replace the seal on the oil cap,
And that's all there is to it. If you got any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them. Thanks for watching.
If you made it this far, I trust that you found some information that was either useful or entertaining, so go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like notification of future videos that I post, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. You can follow me on other social media apps by looking for @RobertDIY. Some form of that should bring up the other channels that I have on places like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. If for some reason you need some more personal help, go to my website at robertdiy.com and use the phone number that I have posted there to send me a text message, or you can email me. If you have questions or comments, please make a comment below. And if you'd like to make some kind of financial contribution to what I got going on here, go to my channel and hit the more link at the end of the introduction statement, and it'll show you different ways that you can support me financially. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.